Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Was there a shrimp sauce there?
Yes.
Was there a garlic butter sauce there?
No.
Dun, 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 dun. In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. Did you slap him?
I did slap him.
Stop. In that scenario, who should pay for it? Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. You don't provoke people when they're dealing with issues involving their mental health. Now, as a parent, that's the takeaway.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Jessie Plains claims she cooked a delicious meal for a family reunion and says her catering client now refuses to pay the bill. Ms. Plains is suing Sharon Bailey in the amount of $750.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. So, Ms. Plains, you're not happy?
I am not.
All right, what's good here? Talk to me.
I am currently suing the defendant because she has refused to pay the remaining balance of the catered event that I catered for her.
Ms. Bailey, you weren't happy with the services of Ms. Plains?
No, sir, not even a little.
Not even a little bit.
No,
so
sir.
if it were up to you, you'd get the $750 back too, huh?
I think that would be fair, but you know,
But
she
you didn't
did put
countersue
effort
her.
in, and
you didn't file a counterclaim.
Because we have a
I'm trying to be
contract.
the bigger person here, Your Honor.
You're trying to take the high road.
Yes, sir. She did do some stuff. It wasn't up to par. It didn't follow all of our contract.
Okay.
But I
Let's
do
talk
recognize
about the
that she did put
contract, because
in.
that's where we start, right?
Yes, let's talk.
Who initiated the conversation between the two of you?
She initiated it. She emailed me.
All right, Ms. Bailey, why did you contact Ms. Plains to begin with?
My cousin and I are in charge of this year's family reunion.
Okay.
And we were discussing, it's about 30 people, so that's just kind of on the brink of whether or not we'd want to.
30 people that were going to gather with the family.
30 that RSVP'd, yes, sir.
In terms of the types of food, was it sampled, or did you already pick out a menu without doing any taste
I
testing?
provided her examples via pictures of my food.
Okay,
Right, but I didn't actually taste anything
You
when we
said
were.
this is what you should see visually
Right,
when we
this is
come.
what I can do.
And that was
Should.
acceptable. You
Yes.
should. Okay, she did the air quotes.
Yes,
Because,
sir.
because what she showed you is not necessarily what you felt.
It's
you had.
not even close.
Not even close.
No, sir.
Now, let's talk about some of the items that were agreed upon.
Okay.
What type of, was there any sort of meat? Was it vegetarian?
There were
What?
3 meats.
Three meats?
Yes, we talked. She said that she wanted it buffet style.
All right, what
for
were the
the
meats that
family.
you
So
selected?
I arranged to have a steak with a warm shallot vinaigrette.
Yes.
There was chicken with mushroom sauce.
Chicks,
And one of our favorites, which was salmon with a shrimp sauce.
All right.
Unfortunately, I am allergic to shellfish, so I asked if we could remove that from the menu, and she assured me that
Remove which one?
the salmon with the shrimp.
I let her know that we could take away the shrimp sauce, and I had a garlic butter sauce that we
So
could
the
provide.
salmon, I'm getting hungry listening to you. So the salmon was going to have some sort of garlic
Butter sauce.
butter sauce. Oh,
Yes.
gosh, that sounds delicious. Deputy Thomas, I need to play the food stat.
I can arrange it.
You can arrange it?
Yes.
I wouldn't.
You were like, eat at your own risk? Is that what you
Yes, sir.
I think there's a
not-
problem
might
with
try
her
to kill
palate.
you.
She doesn't understand seasoning.
Oh.
I don't think poison is a seasoning.
Oh, okay. Oh, why aren't we just throwing the shade left and right here? This is low key, getting our digs in.
And she likes bitter taste more.
And she likes a bitter taste. You're gonna get the last word one way or another, huh? All right, are you done?
I am.
Okay, now we get to the day you paid the deposit,
Yes, sir. After we did the meal planning.
you signed the contract, you had a copy of the contract.
I do have a copy of the contract.
Let me take a look at that contract, because it's one of these things, and Deputy Thomas knows this about me. I am really big on
Customer service.
customer service is paramount.
Me too.
And so if we're starting off with everything's copacetic, I see here the date, it was going to be delivered at 4:30, the serving was going to start at 5, the balance of the total is due upon arrival, and you said if 25% or more of the food's been consumed or removed, we can't issue any discount or refund. If the food has been discarded, repackaged, or tampered with, we cannot verify its origin or issue and cannot issue any discount or refund. You made it a point to highlight that.
Yes.
Because?
Because with it being buffet style, as she requested, once everyone went through the buffet, it is considered contaminated.
I see. Okay. It looks very appealing.
Yes, that is the
presentation,
salmon
the
tartare.
color, the salmon tartare. Oh my God. I want it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
So if I may, Your Honor, that is the picture that she showed me that she promised.
Via the salmon.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't
but
make promises.
What I received
Okay.
was a little less to par.
Coming up on America's Court.
And you ended up inadvertently bringing the shrimp sauce,
Yes, my staff loaded
which
it.
she specifically said, do not bring the shrimp sauce.
That is true, sir.
And later,
You said it didn't come up until this incident. And now you just said, well, maybe it's come up once before.
I can't recall.
Are you experiencing diabetes?
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Jesse Plains, who is suing Sharon Bailey for non-payment of services.
Was the steak there?
Yes.
Was the chicken there?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Was the salmon there?
Yes, as was their shrimp.
I'm
The
sorry?
shrimp sauce was in the salmon.
Okay. Was there salmon there?
Yes.
Was there a shrimp sauce there?
Yes.
Was there a garlic butter sauce there?
No.
Dun 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 dun.
There,
dun, dun,
I
dun.
loaded it, but it was not there due to our truck being held up by AAA.
That is a no.
That is a no.
on the garlic butter sauce.
Yes, sir.
That wasn't hard to just say no. It wasn't there. The deal was chicken,
Steak.
steak, salmon, garlic butter sauce.
Yes, sir.
So there's no garlic butter sauce, and you ended up inadvertently bringing the shrimp sauce,
Yes, my staff loaded
which
it.
she specifically said, do not bring the shrimp sauce.
That is true, sir.
Okay. So immediately the price goes down. Was the steak to your satisfaction?
No, sir. 20 minutes into the meal, everyone was complaining. Old, young, nothing was. I mean, I couldn't eat any of it because I was afraid of contamination, and I,
Because she
didn't
said
want to
the shrimp
die.
sauce, I think you said the shrimp sauce was on the side.
It was on the side, sir.
But you saw that it was contaminated.
Which
No,
I
it was
completely
on the
removed.
salmon. It was
I
on the
completely
salmon.
removed the entire pan of salmon, and because the shrimp sauce was put on the table accidentally, I let her know that I had called my team. They were bringing not one,
Wait a
but
minute.
two
If
pans
the
of
shrimp
salmon.
sauce is on the side, why
Yes.
would you have to remove the whole plate of salmon?
Her cousin, a
Miss
family
Bailey's
member,
cousin.
yes, inadvertently started before she wanted people to start eating, and he dipped the shrimp sauce into the salmon tray. And so to eliminate cross-contamination, I just removed the entire tray.
Now,
We
you
don't
had-
know if that's fully true. That's what she says happened.
That's
Okay.
what exactly
All you know is that
happened.
there was something there that wasn't supposed to be there.
Exactly, and the
a
pan
fam-
was contaminated.
She witnessed
Everything
it
was
herself.
contaminated.
It wasn't hearsay.
I witnessed him
When she
eating
saw
the
it.
salmon, which is how I brought it to your attention. You didn't even realize
You
that the
told
shrimp
me
sauce
that you
was
saw him
out there.
dip the
How did
spoon
you
in the
find
salmon
out
sauce.
that the shrimp sauce was on the table?
She told me.
Why wouldn't you know it if you're there putting all the ingredients out to begin with?
I had my servers put it out, and because I had left one of my preppers with our truck, I finished helping them prep, and then I went out.
So then you weren't there.
No.
So then you don't know how it was contaminated. Did you say, you know what, I'm going to knock off $250?
At the time, no, I didn't. I did,
What were you
however,
prepared to knock off?
I offered her an additional tray of salmon. I had my team, I called my team back to my kitchen and told them to bring an additional salmon tray with the garlic butter
So you
sauce.
had enough to feed 30 people.
Yes.
At a family reunion, that's part of the eating and the conversing. So
She didn't have to worry about that in this case.
because people weren't eating the food.
Nobody wanted second. The salad was drowning in dressing. The meat was dry.
The steak,
there was
you
either
mean. And the chicken?
the steak and the chicken. Yes. The steak was overdone. The chicken was dry. We had to actually, I sent one of my cousins out to get more food.
After she decided to scream at me in front of her family and my crew.
I'm sorry, when somebody almost kills me, I get a little irate.
Well, now you're being a little over dramatic. Just slightly, just a
Sorry,
smidge. All right. You owe $750. You felt like $750 was sufficient to cover the cost, and you're saying, no, I want my full amount.
I emailed her again and apologized for the salmon again and offered to take $100 off of the off of the $750 that was still due. She never responded, which is why we're here today. What
we have is a situation where you're not happy.
No, sir.
I already told you I'm big on customer service. And we had some variations of what the experience was like. Everyone's palate is different. And based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel is going to come down in favor of the plaintiff. Is she entitled to $750? I don't think so. And you yourself even acknowledged that you were willing to knock off $100.
Right.
So I think in this instance, even if everything had gone right, it sounds like you just weren't happy with the food. That will sometimes happen. But I don't want her to end up having to lose money just because you all decided you weren't happy with the food. I think I'm going to knock this down to $400 that you should otherwise be entitled to. That means you still get slightly over cost, but you are somewhat credited for not it just being 2 plates at $50 a person. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $400. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $400.
I was actually being nice. You owed me $1,500.
I would pay you $1,500 to never eat your food again.
I tell you what, you don't have to worry about it because you don't have the seasoning for it anyway.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
I'm not in an apartment right now. I'm not with him right now.
You moved?
I moved out.
Because of this incident?
Yeah.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Ricky Barlow claims his roommate threw out expensive luxury meats from the fridge and says the defendant is just jealous of his lifestyle. Mr. Barlow is suing Tyler Mahomes in the amount of $3,354.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. Mr. Barlow, you got me all hungry for some steak. I was reading your case. You're suing Mr. Mahomes in the amount of $3,354.
Because he decided to throw out some nice Iberica ham and Wagyu beef from our fridge. I recently took a wonderful trip to both Japan, followed by Spain, where in Japan, I got to rub elbows with great chefs, and they had me purchase this Wagyu beef to bring back to the U.S.
That's where you bought the Wagyu beef?
Yes, sir.
And then you were in Spain when you bought the Iberico ham?
The Iberica ham.
How long have you been roommates, Mr. Mahomes?
A couple years.
A couple of years. And had you guys been getting along? Had you had any problems with him before?
He's not really like a clean person.
He's not clean at all.
He normally
he's
like
just foul everywhere you look.
Like
sullied underwear, dishes in the sink.
Exactly.
Are you messy?
Cleanliness isn't my strongest suit. You know, I'm passionate about the food.
Okay.
Be a chef, but
I understand being passionate about. What does one have to do with the other?
Because of that alone, I literally, I'm not in an apartment right now. I'm not with him right now.
You moved?
I moved out.
Because of this incident?
Yeah. I'm with my girlfriend right now.
Coming up on America's Court.
You said it didn't come up until this incident, and now you just said, well, maybe it's come up once before.
I can't recall.
Are you experiencing diabetes?
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Ricky Barlow, who is suing Tyler Mahomes for property loss.
Because he's not a clean person, he doesn't care about even the stench that's in the apartment.
So is this issue of even food going bad, has that come up before?
It has not actually come up before until this incident. Then,
That's not true, Your Honor. Go ahead.
nah.
Well, when did it come up before?
I told him like a couple times. I told him a couple times.
Maybe.
I said,
I can be forgetful,
and
but
he's like,
Stop. You said it didn't come up until this incident, and now you just said, well, maybe it's come up once before.
I can't recall.
Are you experiencing diabetes?
I am not, Your Honor.
Okay,
I am
so
not, Your Honor.
which is it?
It's
Come up before.
It's come up before.
Like I remember one time he came from Jamaica and then he goes, "Oh, what you know about plantain, man? You like a plantain?" And I'm like, "What you know about plantains, bro?" And he's like,
But
"No,
he cooked it and you ate it.
I cooked it. I mean, he cooked it. Yeah, he cooked it.
You ate it.
And I ate it.
Okay, so you've been eating his food. Did you eat some of that amazing Wagyu beef and that?
I ate some of it.
Did you like it?
It was cool.
And when you bought it and you brought it back to the house, did you keep all of it in the freezer and you were defrosting, or were you keeping some in the refrigerator?
Both. So I was keeping all the reserves in the freezer and then a little bit in the fridge.
There was an issue around Thanksgiving.
Yes.
You went home and you went home. Who left first?
My roommate Tyler here left first.
So Tyler, you left to go and spend Thanksgiving with
With
your
my
girlfriend, family,
With my
fill in the
family.
blank.
My family,
right?
yeah.
All right. Did you go leave? So you were the last one to leave.
I was the last one to leave.
It's only the two of you in the apartment? Does anyone else have keys?
No.
When you both left, you came back 1st. Yes?
Yeah, I came back first.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. Promotional consideration provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
I just came in the apartment and then the smell just hit me in my face.
And what was the smell?
It was like rotted meat, sir. The refrigerator was open.
You were the last one to leave.
I was.
There's nobody else with a key.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Is there a ghost in
I
the
don't
apartment?
think so. Well, I think Tyler was a little spiteful. I think he tossed it because he's jealous of my lifestyle. He doesn't like seeing me return from places like Japan with meat.
And was he jealous of the Jamaican meat as well?
He was not. He was eating it up.
So what was it about the Wagyu beef that causes him all of a sudden
He's mad that
to
he
be
doesn't
shady?
travel like that.
What I'm saying?
He's mad that he can't travel like that.
Was he mad when you went to Jamaica?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay, did he express some sort of particular interest in traveling to Japan?
No.
Would you consider him to be an honest person?
Yeah, I would.
You did not want him to leave as your roommate.
I did not.
Do you really need to know how I'm going to rule in your case?
No, Your Honor.
Because based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, you can't prove your burden. I don't believe you. I think you left that refrigerator open, and you're going to have to eat that nasty beef. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
You're unbelievable, bro. Like, we're brothers, man. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't believe that you're gonna take me to court like that.
Of course he's gonna take you to court. You threw out my nice, expensive meat.
Yeah, but
like,
as a
You
businessman.
know I love cooking. You know I love the cultures. Like, come on.
You're a businessman. You shouldn't.
All right, guys,
you shouldn't
we can
did
take it
that, bro.
outside.
Follow America's Court on Facebook and Twitter. This has been a production of Entertainment Studios. Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
I asked her before I left not to have people over and to walk the dog twice a day, and she always said everything was good.
Did you ever calculate paying her for any of this? Because you're asking a lot for someone for free. In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. Did you slap him?
I did slap him.
Stop. In that scenario, who should pay for it? Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. You don't provoke people when they're dealing with issues involving their mental health. Now, as a parent, that's the takeaway.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Courtney Hartman claims her dog had emergency surgery after ingesting mistletoe. and says her friend should have been more careful while dog sitting. Ms. Hartman is suing Megan Berry in the amount of $2,200. Ms. Berry is countersuing for $1,050.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. All right, Ms. Hartman, you're suing for $2,200 for damages to your dog that suffered an injury.
That's correct.
And Ms. Berry, you were watching the dog, and you're saying you are entitled to $1,050 because you didn't get compensated for your dog sitting.
Yeah.
Let's start with you, Ms. Hartman.
So, recently, Megan and I met about 3 years ago when
Yes,
I first
ma'am.
moved to LA.
Okay.
And we met in a yoga class.
You said you first moved to LA. Where are you from?
I'm from Virginia. Initially,
Yes.
I was attracted to her because we liked the same things. She seemed very spiritual, and I'm spiritual.
Yes.
Because of this, I really trust her. And when my dad had a stroke about a month ago,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
it's okay, he made it.
Okay.
And I went to take care of her. She offered to take care of my house.
You mean when you went to go take
When I
care
went
of
to
your
take care of my dad,
Your
yeah.
dad ended up having a medical crisis that
Yeah.
required your immediate attention.
Yeah,
Did you have to
exactly.
go back to Virginia?
I did.
Okay. And
On very
how long
short
did you have
notice.
to stay in Virginia to care for his needs?
I didn't know. My plane ticket was one way,
No, I'm saying ultimately, how long did you end up having to stay
3
there?
weeks.
And did you ask Miss Berry to apartment sit for you or something?
I actually didn't. We were together when I got the call, and she saw that I was absolutely panicked.
Do
And
you
she,
recall that situation when she got that call?
Yeah, she was completely like she freaked out, and I was like, okay, if you really need someone to like watch your dog for just 3 days, that's fine. I offered to help.
You offered to help specifically for 3 days?
Yeah, just for the weekend.
What was it
yes.
about? Like a weekend sort of
Yeah,
thing? Do you
yeah.
recall that her out making
Your
that
Honor,
off?
that's an outright falsehood. That was never the case. Like I said, it was a one-way plane ticket. She did not say.
What's false about what she just said?
She never said that she only agreed to watch him for 3 days.
What did she agree to?
She said, while you're gone, it's okay, let me watch your apartment and dog.
She offered to watch your dog.
She did.
You didn't ask her?
I didn't ask. And again, I thought that was nice.
Do you recall asking her, do you need me to do something for you? Do you
Yeah,
need me
I
to
did.
watch?
I did.
You offered to watch the dog?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did offer to watch the dog, but because she said it was gonna be just for the weekend and she's gonna be back as soon as possible.
That seems reasonable, but because the way you responded, you were like, that's a bald-faced lie, as if she's like, has some evil intent here.
Well, Your Honor, my dog almost died, so, and
How did
I have
the
a
dog
video
almost
of that.
die?
My dog ingested some mistletoe, which is a widely known toxin to dogs. It's all over TikTok. And
So if you don't watch TikTok, you are out of luck. Because count me as, and I would imagine a few folks are like, what's TikTok?
well, Your Honor, she's a social media coordinator, so I
Okay.
can promise you she watches a lot of TikTok.
But that doesn't mean she's may necessarily be watching TikTok videos about dogs and what causes death
Exactly,
for
yes.
dogs.
It's totally right, Your Honor.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. we're having
But she is a
moment
social
here.
media coordinator, so she is very well versed in all
Do
social
you have a dog?
media.
I don't. I'm allergic to dogs.
You're allergic to dogs.
Yes, I'm not at all a pet lover. Like I can't really stay close to them. Like honestly, no.
But you offered anyway to watch her animal. Why?
Okay, so I can take some pills, allergic pills, to make sure that I don't have that sort of reaction. And I thought it was going to be just like a few days at most.
Are you aware that she's allergic to dogs?
Yes, and I was surprised when she offered. At first, I thought, Megan, that's amazing. Thank you so much. She didn't say anything about time, and so like I said, Megan, that's awesome. Thank you.
She didn't say anything about time.
No.
You know she has a job.
That's correct.
You know she has her own place.
That is correct.
Coming up on America's Court.
Okay, initially I thought it was only 3 days, and she was like very
Did you ask
stressed.
her to
No.
compensate you?
No, I did not,
And why is that?
because I wanted to help her.
And later,
What's the difference between an assault and a battery?
Well, battery is physical, ain't it?
So what's an assault?
An assault could be verbally, like if I came at him aggressively and yelled at him.
Okay, you smarter than you look.
Closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Courtney Hartman, who is suing Megan Barry for veterinary expenses.
And how many days it ended up being?
21 days, 3 weeks.
It was 3 weeks that you were there. Now, I know you wanted to get back home. So obviously something was going on still with your dad that you couldn't leave.
That's right. My dad, immediately after stroke, had to go into a really serious rehab. And every time I called her, every few days to check in and to update her. And she's right, I didn't know how long it would be. But every time we spoke, she was so cool about it. She was like, that's great, don't worry, everything's good. And she always said everything was good.
Did you ever calculate paying her for any of this? Because you're asking a lot for someone for free. Did you ever say, this is more than I bargained for? Was there, maybe we need to look at some sort of compensation? I'm trying to work with you. I understand about your father. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Did you ask her?
Okay. Initially I thought it was only 3 days, and she was like very
Did you ask her
stressed.
to compensate you?
No, I did not.
And why is that?
Because I wanted to help her.
But you're suing her now for $1,050. What's that amount reflecting?
Because I didn't actually think about compensation or anything until she sued me, and I just wanted to let her know, at least, be grateful. Like, okay, so.
But where does that amount come from?
A day, 50. 50 a day. So
50 a day?
Yeah, I wanted to charge her just 50 a day.
Okay. Something happened to the dog. How do we get to this issue of the mistletoe?
Well, when I was flying back home, I called her and was like, hey, I'm coming back. She said, that's great. I told her what time I'd be back, and she said, cool, I'm gonna leave 30 minutes early, give you some time with your dog, and I'm gonna leave you a present. And I was like, wow, Megan
Did you say that?
Megan's a good friend.
Oh yeah, 30 minutes before her ETA.
And you're like, I'm gonna be out of your way and let you just do your thing.
But 30
and did you
minutes
tell her you
before.
were gonna surprise her with something?
Yeah, a little, but I didn't tell her exactly what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what did you do?
So I put some flowers on the counter. I also decorated her place with like some garlands with mistletoes.
Your Honor.
You put mistletoe out, and that's where we get to the TikTok of
That's
everybody
correct.
knows that mistletoe, if dogs get access to it, it could be deadly.
That's correct. But
And
yes, that's
so
how the mistletoe.
Do you have any evidence to show me in terms of, obviously you had to
I do.
You had to care for one loved one, and then you get
I
home and
do.
you have to care for another.
I have both the vet bill and I have a video of my dog when I got home. And I encourage you to watch it. It was very, very frightening.
Deputy Thomas, do we have the video queued up?
Yes, sir. It's all set in your computer.
Let's take a look.
Oh, are you okay? Baby, are you okay? You okay?
Oh.
Baby, are you okay?
Oh, no.
The dog, what's the dog's
Don't
name?
move. Are you okay?
Marcus.
Marcus was in distress. Huh?
Marcus, he was beyond distress. I mean, he was at death's door. When I called her about it, she was immediately so defensive, and she was like, this is not my fault. I had nothing to do with that. There's no way your dog could have gotten the mistletoe. And I'm like, well, he did. And
You found out it was mistletoe after taking him to the hospital?
That's correct.
Oh, he had to have surgery.
He did. It was $2,200. And he's very
of that
lucky
for
to be
the
alive.
aftercare. Okay. You didn't know anything about the mistletoe.
She did tell me through the text, but like, I'm really glad that the dog is good right now. I had no idea that it was that bad.
You
but
hadn't
like,
seen him like that.
No. Oh no. Oh my God. Before I left, the last time when I saw him, he was happy. He was wagging his tail. He was alive.
Some kind of way Marcus got access to the mistletoe.
Your Honor.
I got it. I get it. Based on the evidence and testimony before this court, we're going to start, Ms. Berry, with your counterclaim. it's not unreasonable to ask for $50 a day. But if you never had the conversation, you don't have an agreement. You still have a burden, even if you're counterclaiming with someone, to show the court there was an offer, an acceptance, a consideration, and you don't have any of that. So as to your counterclaim, it's dismissed. The question becomes, should you be responsible for paying for Marcus's injuries when he was at a point where he could have died?
Okay.
And again, we have a situation where you didn't have to exercise a duty of care because this was not your obligation or responsibility. Once you accepted that that was going to be the role you played, so you are going to pay $2,200 to Ms. Hartman because of the injuries that Marcus sustained. That is the order.
Okay.
Case
Thank you.
closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $2,200.
I just really hope no one
like,
trusts
honestly,
you to take care of a dog.
Seriously, no. You're ungrateful. Seriously. You're seriously ungrateful.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
What do you mean having fun with it?
Oh, doing highway cruises, you know, with
Popping
other,
willies?
yeah, what I learned from you, right?
Yeah.
Wait, he said popping willies and you said, yeah, what I learned from you. So that's a yes, you were popping willies.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Dan Lucas claims he bought a motorcycle that turned out to be a lemon and says he got punched in the face when he confronted the defendant. Mr. Lucas is suing Jake Martin in the amount of $7,500.
Mr. Lucas.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I am doing well, sir. Apparently you're not doing so great with this motorcycle that caused you a lot of pain and anguish.
Yeah, and also what his fist did to my face as
Oh,
well.
we got to get to the fist in a minute, Mr. Martin. So you like to box and rock 'em, sock 'em robots, huh?
Well, if I'm in danger, I mean, I have to do what I gotta do, sir.
Well, last time I
But-
checked, I don't recall him taking any swings at you, sir.
Yeah, but you know, he's allegedly saying that I sold him a lemon when, you know, that's
We're
not
not
the
even
case.
talking about the motorcycle. I'm talking about you laying hands on him.
Yeah, he was charging at me, sir, so.
Okay, well, now when you say charging, meaning that what was his hands reflecting? Show
Well,
me
his
what
hands were kind of in a fist.
What was he saying to you?
Well, he didn't say anything.
He didn't say anything, he was just approaching you.
Yes, very.
And
very
just
good.
as he was approaching you, you decide, I'm gonna clock him.
Yeah, ask questions later.
Got it. All right,
Yes, we
Mr.
were.
Lucas, talk to me. What's going on here?
He just literally punched me in my face for swiftly, fastly approaching him.
Rushing.
I didn't run at him and try to
Why
attack
were you
the man.
swiftly, fastly approaching him?
Oh, because I had to talk to him about something.
So you were approaching him in a way that suggested aggression.
Yes, I was mad.
So then, was his reaction one that is consistent with how you were approaching him?
No, because I didn't even get to say one word.
What's the difference between an assault and a battery?
Well, battery is physical, ain't it?
So what's an assault?
An assault could be verbally, like if I came at him aggressively and yelled at him.
Okay, you smarter than you look.
Coming up on America's Court.
The problem with the motorcycle is on the second day, when I went to just start it, it seized. It was completely dead. The engine was gone.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Dan Lucas, who is suing Jake Martin for $7,500.
So if someone you feel is getting ready to assault you, by law, do they have the right to take whatever necessary steps are needed to prevent themselves from being injured in any sort of way? The reason that I'm spending so much time talking about this is because part of your damages include the fact that you had something broken. Was it your nose?
Yes.
Okay, so you may want to think twice before you start brushing up on somebody. Mr. Martin, how much did you pay for the bike?
This is 2020 when I bought it brand new, so I probably paid around $30,000 for it. It's a Harley Davidson.
You paid $30,000 and you were willing to sell it for $5,000?
Yes, sir.
And it was a brand new. It wasn't.
It wasn't brand new. It was used. It was a 2020.
It was previously owned.
Yes.
You never had any reason to believe or conclude that there was anything wrong with the bike?
No, because he normally takes what I thought is well, taken care of his own bikes, but
Okay. How long did you have the bike before something happened to it?
for 2 days,
Okay.
a whole 48 hours.
See, sir, but the thing is
Hold on a moment. You had that bike for 2 days, and then what happened?
I was having fun with it, taking it out. I wasn't whipping it
Define
around.
fun and taking it out. What do you mean having fun with it?
Oh, doing highway cruises, with
Popping
other,
wheelies?
yeah, what I learned from you, right?
yeah.
Wait, he said popping willies, and you said, yeah, what I learned from you. So that's a yes, you were popping willies. What is the problem with the motorcycle?
The problem with the motorcycle is on the second day, when I went to just start it, it seized. It was completely dead. The engine was gone,
Sir,
So the engine is blown.
blown.
Motorcycle engines can be blown from popping wheelies.
On his hand, I feel like he knew he was selling me a lemon bike.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. Promotional consideration provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
You mentioned the term lemon, as in lemon law.
Yeah.
You felt like he violated the lemon laws. You all are from Colorado because he sold you something that within 2 days was inoperable.
Yeah, I felt like he knew that bike was coming to an end.
Got it. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel has to come down in favor of the defendant. One, you're saying in Colorado that a motorcycle should fall under the guise of the lemon law. Well, here's the problem. Motorhomes and motorcycles are excluded from the lemon laws of Colorado. You could have looked that up online. So when you bought that item as is, lemon laws won't protect you. Now, what I was thinking was that, well, maybe he's entitled to the $2,500 for his injuries. But then you admitted to pretty much committing an assault. So his defense would be to react to your behavior, your actions. Your matter is dismissed. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
Let's just go back to what we were, dude. Let's just get a beer
Truce.
and just
I like
call
that.
it.
Can I get one, Jen? Come on,
Yes,
guys.
you can.
Sure can.
All right, let's go out. Good job, guys.